Yeah, that's the best part about this game. The last time Five Nights at Freddy's had a proper mainline title, it was an embarrassing, sloppy, and broken mess. I remember when I was making my video on it, going in and out of the game to grab footage, and every time I hopped on, I found some sort of new bug. Something would break. We all know this story though. It's just a piece of crap. And to add icing on the cake, people were making videos trying to beat the game without encountering glitches, which by the way, is impossible. How do you even manage to do that? Even if they would have fixed all the bugs, streaked out all the rough edges, it still just wouldn't have been a good game. I genuinely just can't see the vision they had for this title. So going into Secrets of the Mimic, I wasn't asking for a good game. Hell, I wasn't even asking for a mediocre one. All I wanted was a functional game. A game that didn't break the second you booted up. Did we end up getting that? No. Go away. No. It works. It's also kind of fun. The first thing you will see upon launching this game though is a classic spooky FNAF jump scare in the form of the Unreal Engine logo. Holy hell, does that logo make me poop my pants. Now, there are good games out there that use Unreal, but a lot of the time they find some way to mess it up. Poopy Playtime runs like crap, Redfall looks like crap, Golem game is a game that exists. I have lost a lot of faith towards this engine over the years. So when an Unreal Engine game actually ends up working without being a complete disaster, I just end up sitting there in awe saying, wait, it's actually working? Holy crap, it's an actual video game I can play. Secrets of the Mimic joins that small camp of functional Unreal Engine games. I didn't even encounter a single game-breaking bug that ruined the entire experience for me, and it was actually pretty smooth sailing. That besides though, the bar was low for me. Really low. I wasn't expecting anything grand or mind-bending. What I was expecting was a pretty alright-ish horror game. And that's exactly what I got.
If anything does go wrong, we want you to know that it's not your fault.
Oh, please don't get your head stuck between the giant gears and crush your skull. Okay. The gameplay of Secret of the Mimic is split into three main parts. Heavily scripted chase sequences, open-ended areas where you lurk around while avoiding wandering animatronics, and environmental puzzles. A lot of very okay environmental puzzles. The best one out of these in my opinion are the open-ended parts, but even that is just alright at best. Remember Alien Isolation? The xenomorph in that game felt like they were always on your toes, one step ahead. In this game, I feel like the animatronics are 20 steps behind me. It is kind of fun to maneuver around the animatronics in these parts though, even if said animatronics are like pretty brain dead. Why is there like a big round moon following me in this area? Pyrocynical? Wait a minute. This is pyrocynical. Okay, Steelwool, I get what you were doing here. The chase sequences are also cool when you first encounter them, but most of the time you are just running in a straight line away from said animatronic. I thought Ori 2 did this mechanic pretty well, and then every game since just kinda made it lame. And then the puzzles, they are competent, but my favorite part about them is just fidgeting with everything. It's such a small, stupid little addition that I just love, like turning on the generator by tugging the cord. It's like, it's weirdly enjoyable. Rotating the gears in this gear puzzle is also kind of funny. Pushing the stupid mic button, cranking the crank like how you crank it like Soulja Boy and then accidentally buy his Soulja console for $500. That's why I'm in crippling debt. There are fun parts about this game. I think the presentation especially is a pretty strong point, but like let's be honest, if you remove FNAF from Secret of the Mimic, you'd be left with a pretty generic horror game that most people wouldn't really care for. And I beat this game 3 times, okay? okay? 16 plus hours, all the achievements, every collectible, all endings. I did everything, and I came out of it with a small smirk on my face, which, you know, it's still a smirk. I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was an abomination. It's just alright. Nothing really to write home about. I do kinda miss when FNAF was more low-key, though. They are trying to make these games more grand and spectacular, but there was something about it always being a little crummy and poor in quality that made it special in my eyes. It forces you to fill in the blanks with your own imagination, which I think is kinda lost in these newer titles. But at least they got Bob the dog though, so it's okay. Secret of the Mimic is a game carried by the franchise, not per se the gameplay or presentation. A game designed from its core to make you speculate about its lore, kinda like the other titles, but it's the most cohesive the series has been since Pizzeria Simulator. I have zero idea what even the narrative of Security Breach was, but it was dumb as hell. In this one, however, I have some sort of idea what was going on without having to watch 12 game theory videos, which is the least I'm asking for. 3 out of 5. If it had more Bob, it would have been a 9 out of 5. Okay, bye-bye.